Good evening, friends. Welcome to the PANSIGHT webinar. Okay, I assume everybody can see this slide and you can hear me. Today's topic is communication problems. This is part 2. Purpose of this talk is to entertain, enlighten, and empower you with the knowledge and skills. Because you know, as a medical doctor, if your medicine is bitter or bland, we usually sugarcoat it. Sugar-coated pill so that, yeah, children and adults, they'll swallow it. They like to take that pill. The same way any talk also. If it is entertainment coated, then that will be more appealing. So I always put a covering of entertainment. Then enlightening. The information knowledge you gain, that will enhance your understanding about many things. And once you know, enlightened, you are empowered. So that is the purpose of this session. I will talk about things you don't know. You might know, but you might have forgotten. Things which you must know. Is it clear? If it is crystal clear, put CC in the chat box. So 3 things. What you don't know, that means you are going to learn something new. And you might know a little bit. And you might have forgotten. Then you must know. Thank you, Ajay. Always my webinars are based on FAQ, facts, experience, and quotations. First quotation from Stephen Covey, who is the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Communication is the most important single activity of man. This is my own quote. Success and happiness depend on effective communication skills. Many people, they don't achieve success. They have knowledge because poor communication skills. And I've told in the past also, 80% of the teachers, school teachers, college teachers, they lack good communication skills. Because of that, the students find their classes boring. That is one of the reasons some students go for private tuition. Do you agree? If you agree, put A in the chat box. And these guys who take the tuition, most of them, they don't have, thank you, they don't have any B.Ed qualification, no M.Ed qualification. But they have that passion for teaching and ability. Teach well. Teaching is ultimately an act of communication. Communication definition, communication is exchanging information through verbal or non-verbal means. Today we are going to talk about the non-verbal means. I don't know how many of you have heard or aware of this rule. 93-7 rule in communication. 93% is non-verbal. Only 7% is verbal. If you are not aware of this one, please put no in the chat box. This is John Stoker. He is an international communication authority. If you are not aware, of this fact, please put N in the chat box. N, no. Roy Chiranjit, no. Thank you. That is why I told you, Santosh. That is why I told you. You are going to learn something new. You didn't know. Then obviously one question, how do you know? That is true. Because skeptical people will say, how do you know? It's 93%. How do you know that verbal communication, this non-verbal is more important than the verbal communication? Yes. I'm going to share story. Kahani Sunna. Sunne ke liye tayar ho? Katha kekkan ready aano? Okay. What happened in 1960? Flashback. 1960. You know, in USA, always there'll be debate between the presidential candidates. The election is in November. Before that election, there'll be 3 presidential debates, candidates. The Democratic Party and Republican Party. And at that time, usually they used to broadcast that one, that is the radio. So people would tune to the radio and listen to that debate. The third debate, for the first time, they televised that debate also. So plenty of people watched the televised debate and some people listened to the radio broadcast. Who were the candidates? Any guess? If you know, if you want to guess, and put the name. If you don't know, put N. If you don't know, N, put the N. Because I want to make it interactive. Then only, yes, Roy Chiranjit, Neelamji, no. Obama, it was 1960. Okay. Raman Nair, no. Okay, good. So I'm glad that I'm sharing something or refreshing your memory. Once I share the name, you knew, but you forgot. They were Nixon and Kennedy. 1960. Look at the body language. Kennedy giving good eye contact and he's smiling. Nixon is smiling, but he is not giving eye contact. Is it clear? Is it clear? Put C in the chat box. Yes, viewers, millions of people, they were watching. They saw, yeah, thank you. Kennedy, yeah, very confident, smiling and looking into the eyes of Nixon. Nixon is smiling, nervous, but he's not looking into the eyes of Kennedy. Then what happened? Body language. Kennedy, Nixon sitting. Look at Kennedy's, the way he's sitting. One leg crossed over the other leg. And both hands on his lap. Look at Nixon, the way his legs are. And one hand is clutching the armrest. From that posture itself, who appears to be more confident? If it is Kennedy, put K in the chat box. If it is Nixon, put N in the chat box. Kennedy. Okay. So what happened was, now the interesting part. During the debate, very same questions were posed to both candidates, Nixon, Kennedy. While Nixon was giving his reply, Kennedy was sitting there and he was shaking his head and he was waving his finger. What does it mean? I disagree. viewers were able to see Kennedy and Nixon. Oh, Nixon's proposals, Nixon's his policy or his views, Kennedy is not accepting. Subsequently, when the very same questions were posed to Kennedy, while Kennedy was giving his response, Nixon unconsciously, he was nodding his head. He nodded his head. So the voters, they thought, okay, Nixon's views are not acceptable to Kennedy, but Kennedy's views are acceptable to Nixon. And before this televised debate, previous two debates, radio broadcast, after the debate, they conducted the opinion poll, survey. Nixon was leading. Now, third time, when they conducted the opinion poll, Kennedy was leading most of the time. And especially those who watched the TV debate, they favored Kennedy. Still, those who listened to the radio broadcast, they preferred Nixon. And we know the history. Kennedy won. It was not a landslide victory. Then after that one, all these communication experts, psychologists, they wanted to find out what happened. They critically analyzed the video recording. That is when they realized non-verbal communication, body language. Subsequently, a lot of research has gone into this subject. On the basis of that research, the findings, 93% is non-verbal. Only 7% is verbal. Have I satisfied your curiosity? If I have satisfied your curiosity, put yes in the chat box. Because I wanted to make sure that is, now you are aware. Yes, okay, Gurvaji. So that is what it is. There is a basis. It is not somebody is coming with a number from the thin air. Well researched, well studied. There are many books on non-verbal communication. Body Language, Julius Fast. 1985, this was the first book I read. 1985, that is 40 years back. Oh, that one stimulated my interest, more curiosity. Then I read the second book, Man Watching, by Desmond Morris. Plenty of books, including The Power of Body Language. That one actually, when I learned this non-verbal communication, my goodness, we don't learn anything about this one. During school days, college days, I was able to teach body language to my medical students as a faculty member. They enjoyed it. And about the body language patient, body language of the doctor, it is not there in the syllabus. In the last 40 years, I must have given hundreds of talks on body language and conducted numerous workshops on body language. And I was interviewed by media, print media, and the visual media. Print media, body language, that is in, I don't know whether you can see it clearly.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I don't think that you can see it.
No, sir.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Iowa Des Moines Register newspaper. They published a video essay in 2006. Then one of my seminars, it was videotaped and it was a telecast. Thank you, Gomardi. It was a telecast by Iowa City Public TV 8 times in 1 month. And Fox News also, I appeared. I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to make you realize my passion. My passion. This is a subject which must be taught in schools, colleges. It's not there in the syllabus. We communicate all the time. even when we don't realize it, be aware of body language. She died. She was a basketball coach, Pat Summit. Look at her body language. She is not talking to anybody. She is thinking. Our body reveals even without being aware of that one. For example, class, right now, if Dr. Shaji is finding this class boring, my talk, he may yawn. That is the body language, the feedback.
Yes.
Unintentional, the body communicates. Body language is more powerful than words. He's an actor and comedian. Miscommunication is the mother of most conflicts. And miscommunication most of the time gives up inappropriate body language. A request may be perceived as an order. For example, please close the door. Words are please close the door. If somebody said, please close that door. Is it a request or an order? I use the word please. But how do you perceive it? Please close that door. If it is order, put O in the chat box. Words, request. Verbally, it was a request. But the body language, conflicted. So that is why some people, they don't like others. And why? See, I'm very polite. I'm not very bossy. But your words, please. But use the pointing finger. This pointing finger is a rude gesture. This topic is so vast, my dear friends. When I conduct workshops, 6 hours on this non-verbal communication. So today I'm going to share only few examples. The purpose is to create or stimulate your interest. And you can learn. These days, the world library is open before you. Internet, Google search. You can find numerous articles on this non-verbal communication. You can learn. That is how I learned. Not through the internet, long time back. Self-education. I must have read a lot of books. I used to go to the library and buy books. Then subsequently, attended many seminars, conferences, watched videos. So I enlightened myself and I empowered myself through self-education. That is what everybody should do. Self-education. There are 6 components of non-verbal communication. KINESICS, VOCALICS, OCULESICS, PROXEMICS, HAPTICS, and OBJECTICS. I want to know whether it is a new information for you. I told you, I will talk about things which you don't know. Is it a new information? Yes. Okay. Bindu, I think that you listened to one of my older talks. Roy Chirianji, Omar, they are all, for them, it is a new information. Oh, new. Okay. Bindu man, new. New information. But don't get frightened. What is this? These terms, KINESICS, VOCALICS, oh, now it is going to be very complicated. I thought it will be easy. It will be easy. Now Dr. Reddiar is coming with some terms which is very difficult to even remember or pronounce. Don't worry. I will explain each and every term so that you can understand. You will never forget. First of all, we'll start with KINESICS. I'm sure that is, kinetic Honda, right? Kinetic Honda. KINESICS means movement. Kinesics means movement.
Movement.
So now kinesics, posture, the way you stand, the way you sit, that is where that Kennedy, the way he sat, with one leg crossed over the other, body erect. Look at the army people. Stand erect. Stand erect. Politicians, except those who are in their old age or some other illness, they stand erect. Show me one politician who does not stand erect. Have you seen a politician walking like this? No. Leadership quality. He is my leader. Okay, the leader stands erect. And if you stand erect, sit erect, that will do good for your physical health also. That is as a medical doctor. Most of the back pain health problems are because of the bad posture. We have Dr. Shaji. He will agree. Do you agree, Dr. Shaji ji? Raise your hand. Okay. He must have treated thousands of patients with the back pain. Thousands. So the posture matters. The second one, gait. What does gait mean? Gait means the way you walk. Gait is the way you walk. That also communicates. If you walk very fast, then you know, other people know, even without you saying, oh, he's in a hurry. He's in a hurry. Communication is done. If you walk very slowly, look at a retired person from army. He's retired. Even if he's in civilian clothes, the way he walks, you can immediately spot, oh, he must have been in the army. Am I right? If I'm right, put R in the chat box. Because when he was in the army, left, right, and because that his way of walking, his gait also. Hey, thank you. The retired person, army, and if he walks in the street, you can immediately say, okay, that person. If you are asked to identify who is a person from the army, you'll spot that person, that gait. What is the purpose of knowing this one? For success and happiness. The young guys, these guys, IT guys, most of them, they sit like this. They don't even walk erect. And their walking also is erratic. And subsequently, some people complain, I'm not getting promoted. I've been working there for 3 years and somebody else was promoted. He's a manager, project leader. Yes, your body language. Your body language didn't. It did damage. When they promote a person as a project manager, they want to see that person having that body language to command respect or demand respect. Is it clear? If it is clear, put C in the chat box. So the purpose of this talk is also not just entertain. Share it with your children and let them know they have to consciously change their body language. Thank you, Neelamji. Gestures, kinesics. I'm going to show gestures of just few politicians. And facial expressions. Facial expressions. A smile makes a big difference. A smiling face. Serious expression all the time. Who will be able to attract people? A person with a serious expression or a person with a smiling expression? Smiling. That way. I'm going to show you some pictures. Thank you, Neelamji. Trump. Because of my interest in non-verbal communication, I've been closely observing Trump's body language right from the day when he first time 2016. Very good communicator. He won't stand like a robot. Whereas Hillary Clinton, at that time in the debate, I'm talking about the debate, Hillary Clinton was not very expressive. She was not very gesticulate. Trump, he uses his hands, his face expression. And people will just, yeah. Attention. He was able to draw attention of the voters. And look at his both hands. And look at the facial expression also. Or Yogi Adityanath, both hands. Look at the expression. Are you surprised? UP is the largest state in India. Second time chief minister. A single party majority. It's body language. If you haven't watched the speeches, watch them. I watch them. I always am very curious about, okay, why some people are very successful, why some people are not successful. I watch their body language critically. But not always, even if your body language is good. If it is obvious that you are a corrupt person, then you are not going to be successful. Body language is good, but already your image is completely tarnished. Look at Mamata Banerjee. Again, look at the hand. Can you see that gesture? Look at her facial expression. Mamata Banerjee again, 3 times Chief Minister of Bengal. BJP has been trying very hard to dislodge her. Don't like. He is a very powerful orator. And people may say, yeah, because of that Muslim vote bank, Bangladeshi. There may be some truth. There may be some truth. I'm not saying that that is not true. But basically, she's a very powerful communicator. This gesture, I'm sure that you must have used this gesture. Have you used this gesture in your lifetime? If you have used this gesture, put Y in the chat box. Have you used in your lifetime this gesture? Yes. Y. Binduji, yes. Okay. Jaitandraji, yes. Now, this gesture may appear to be interpretation terminology here in India and some other countries also. Good. Excellent. Somebody says, Chai, Dr. Reddiar's class, this is enough. Excellent. But this gesture, body language, this gesture has got a different meaning in different countries. That is where one has to be careful. In Japan, somebody shows this gesture, that means money. Here we show this gesture, money. Japan, this is a gesture for money. What about in France? In France, this gesture means 0, nothing, useless. So if a guy from Kerala, IT guy goes to France and goes to work in a French company and he submits a report, and if he asks the boss who has reviewed that one, how was my report? If he shows this gesture, if you don't know what it means, you may get thrilled, excited. Oh, he said excellent. But what he said was, what he meant was useless. That was useless. That is a cross-cultural body language. Different. In some African countries and in some parts of Mexico also, this is a very obscene gesture. This means asshole. This means asshole. Suppose you are in some African country, visiting tour Kenya, and you are in a restaurant, ordered for a breakfast, you are eating the breakfast, and if the waiter comes and asks, how is the food? You cannot speak. So if you show this gesture, that guy may beat you up. That guy may beat you because you're calling him an asshole. You may open your eyes in a casualty. So remember this. Body language, don't assume. It just has got the same meaning universally. That is victory gesture sign. Look at Kunyalikutty, that election, that posture. Can you see this smile, smile, smile? Kejriwal, smile, smile, smile. Politicians, they know the power of body language. You must understand. They want to influence the voters. They want to appear very warm, very friendly. Maybe exception, only two politicians I know. Without smiling also, they became very successful. Only two. One, Narasimha Rao. Two, A.K. Antony. Only two politicians I can recall who rarely used to smile. Narasimha Rao, even if you give nitrous oxide, I doubt whether he would have been able to smile. And Manmohan Singh, even if he smiles, you rarely see his teeth. Okay, you are not sure whether he is smiling or not. Manmohan Singh. My dear friends, so far, how do you find this session? Interesting? If it is interesting, put I in the chat box. Interesting and insightful? Because I want to get the feedback from you. So that, yes, thank you, Roger Ranji, Binduji, Santosh. Yes, thank you. Oh, Marji. And Hillary Clinton, again, that election time posture. But in the debate, no. VOCALICS. That one refers to voice, the non-verbal aspects of the voice. Right now, I'm giving a talk. My voice. What about the voice? Volume. So this talk is about the non-verbal communication. And the non-verbal communication is more important than verbal communication. Can you hear? No. Then you may turn it off or you may leave. I'm not audible. So that is what happens in some teachers also. When they teach in the classroom, they are barely audible beyond some 2 or 3 rows of chairs. Because inside the classroom, they don't have a mic. As politicians, they are standing behind a microphone. So if you are not audible, if you are not loud, forget about it. And doctor also, if he is not loud enough, the patient won't be able to understand what the doctor is talking about. The patient is not loud. The doctor won't be able to hear. So learn to speak loudly. Is it clear? This message, volume is very, very important. Speak loudly. Look at a dog also. If it barks like barely audible, it should bark like that. Audible. Then only the other person will be scared. If that German Shepherd, no way. Look at the lion, the roaring of the lion. Volume. Tone. Most of the arguments, conflicts created because of inappropriate use of the tone. You must have heard some people saying that. Yeah, whatever you said, yeah, I agree, but I didn't like the tone. Have you heard? If you have heard, then put yes in the chat box. The tone, inappropriate tone. That one ruins. That is where that one. Yes, thank you. Please close that door. That tone also is order. You should have been. Please close that door. Please close that door. Please close that door. Loud and tone is also inappropriate. Pace, that is the speed of talking. If I speak that there are vocalics, there are the volume is there, and tone and pace and non-verbal communication is that one. Too fast. If it is very slow, non-verbal communication is about body language. Too slow, then Sanal Kumar will run away. And he may say, I have to do something now. Okay? It should be neither too slow nor too fast. But it should not be at the same speed. The speed also should vary. When the speed, everything is same, that's when we say it is a very monotonous talk. Very monotonous. Fillers. Do you know what fillers are? If you don't know, put N in the chat box. Then I will explain, because I want to make sure that is where I am sharing something new, useful. If you don't know, put N in the chat box. Fillers. Okay. Jayachandra no. Pavitraji, no. Okay, Raji no. Okay, thank you. Fillers means I'm going to give you a live example illustration. The non-verbal communication is, more powerful than, the verbal communication. How many times I use the word, you must have heard some people using, you see, I mean. Then some sounds like, this one, the next one is, I'm going to talk about, these are all the fillers. They reduce the quality. A man who uses more fillers, you won't be able to command respect. Thank you. And if you ask me the question, doctor, did you use fillers before? Answer is yes, I used to. When I learned about this non-verbal communication, with the practice, I stopped using the fillers. Most of my fillers were, next one, I think that next Friday, I think, and I learned, no. I was like, next Friday, around 10 o'clock, no fillers. Listen to Obama's speech. Or Trump also, no fillers, but our external affairs minister, Jay Shankar, he uses fillers. He is, Rahul Gandhi, right? Right? That is his filler. Right. After this session, if you watch, it'll be very interesting. You will enjoy any interview, how many times they are using a filler. Focus is the third one. Eye behavior. Kathakali. Kathakali is a the body language, the whole play, eye movements. Kathakali artist again. Eye, and they get a lot of training. Eyebrow also, moving up, down, one eyebrow, both eyebrows, the Bharatanatyam. Eye behavior. Eye contact, eye movements. Direct eye contact is essential for making a social, professional, or romantic connection. how to teach eye contact at an early age and why it matters. My dear friends, remember this. Many young parents, they must watch my video. Listen to your children with your eyes, eye contact. These days, especially after the smartphone, when the child is talking, the father or mother won't even look at the face of the child. After some time, the child also does the same thing. When you are talking to the child, they will be looking at the mobile phone. Am I right? If I am right, put R in the chat box. Soon that is going to happen. No eye contact. Thank you. So make sure when you are talking to your children, when they are talking to you, give them eye contact. Look at Shashi Tharoor, Manjandi, smile, and eye. This one contact. A doctor giving eye contact to the patients. Extremely important these days. Again, doctors, they are looking at the computer and the patient talks. They don't give eye contact. Because of my knowledge about non-verbal communication, I use the word consciously, I used to give eye contact to patients. Initially, when I see the patient, first, I wouldn't look at the computer screen. Yeah, what can I, first I greet them, they smile. Okay, Mr. Harrison, okay, take a seat. Okay. So what can I do for you? Any new problems? When they start telling about them, I'm having headache. Okay. So I give eye contact, uninterrupted eye contact. For at least 1 minute. Somebody else has unmuted. Sanal Kumarji. So then, while I'm typing also, I may be looking at screen, but frequently, maybe once in 10 seconds or once in 20 seconds, I give an eye contact. Immense satisfaction. And here they conducted the survey. They used to send survey questionnaire to the patients. They choose 100 patients from a panel of 1,200 patients. In that one, many questions they were to assess what do they think about their provider. One of the questions about listening. Dr. Reddiar, listening. 5-point scale. Poor, average, good, very good, excellent. I was able to get the rating very good and excellent. And if more than 80% of the patients, if they put very good, excellent, the management used to give $1,000 as a reward. I was able to get $1,000 eye contact. Are you convinced about the importance of eye contact? If you're convinced, put C in the chat box. Eye contact is very, very important. Thank you, Manavandanaji. Do they teach this in the schools? No. In the colleges? No. And many teachers, they don't give good eye contact. And Dr. Shaji knows. Shaji and Santosh, during our MBBS days, there are some teachers who never used to give eye contact. When we greet them, good morning, sir. No eye contact. If it all says, good morning. No smile, no eye contact. Shah Rukh Khan, Kajol, look at the eye contact, romantic connection. Now what is happening? When he is kissing or about to kiss, she has closed her eyes and he has also closed her eyes. Do you know why? Have you seen anybody kissing with the open eyes? Both of them looking into eyes and kissing? No. And they kiss, close the eyes. Do you know why? If you don't know why, no. You don't know yet, then I will explain. Why people close their eyes when they are kissing each other? No. Roy Chirianji, no. Roy MCG, no. Okay. what happens is, we have 5 senses. No, it's obvious. 5 senses. All the 5 senses are always open. The room temperature, yeah, you are feeling. If there is a rat, dead rat, smell. And if you put something, eating something, taste. My talk, you are hearing. Eyes, you are watching me. All the 5 sense organs, they are active. Input goes through that one. If you shut the eyes, now the other 4 senses will be more active. And if you are not tasting something, then hearing, touch, and smell. And when you are kissing, you are not talking to each other, then touch and the smell. Only these 2 sensations will reach your mind. And the perfume, especially the girl, the hair oil, perfumed hair oil, or some cream. So that smell, to smell also, if you close the eyes, you'll be able to appreciate the smell better. When you're buying a perfume, what do? Am I right? You close your eyes and smell. So the kissing also, touch. The sensation through the touch, that feeling. So that is why close the eyes. Is it clear now? Have you understood? If you understood, put you in the chat box. That is why they close their eyes. Okay, thank you. When the tongue lies, the eyes tell the truth. Very important. It is usually very difficult to lie with your eyes. That is why in Malayalam they say, "Mothu noki kallam parayan madiyilla thalan." Have you heard that expression? Mothu noki kallam parayan oru madiyillathaanu chale. Because people won't feel comfortable in lying by looking into the eyes of another person. But pakka fraud guys, including some politicians, they know. They know how to lie by maintaining a eye contact. No problem. But innocent people, what happens is, if you are nervous, anxiety and nervousness also. If you are feeling anxious, nervous, you may not feel comfortable in giving eye contact. So when you are called to a police station, when they interrogate, you are afraid, anxious, fear, you may avoid eye contact, and they may think that you are lying. You may tell the truth. You may be telling the truth, but they won't believe you. That is why some innocent people get good beating. Kallam parayunnu ketta. Mothu nokkunnilla ketta. He is not looking at my face. He has something to hide. Is it clear? So eye contact. Yeah, Neelam ji. Thank you. Next week, the talks, communication problems, part 3. I didn't want to rush through because I have shared 3 components. KINESICS, VOCALICS, and OCULESICS. 3 more. That is HAPTICS, PROXEMICS, and OBJECTICS. That will be next week. After that, dangerous friends. Have you come across from experience, subsequently you learned some friends you thought they were good friends, and you may know that is, they are not good, they were dangerous. So I'm going to talk about such friends. or pseudo friends, fake friends. And these days it is very, very difficult to get a good friend. On Rajesh Khanna movie, a song, I don't know whether Neelam ji will be able to sing that song or somebody else. बड़ी मुश्किल से मगर दुनिया में दोस्त मिलते हैं. I heard that song? (1972 or 73) movie, Kishore Kumar song.
दिए जलते हैं, फूल मिलते
yes.
हैं, बड़ी
Yes.
मुश्किल से.
Yeah.
मगर I think it is film.
Namak something else.
Rajesh Khanna and
Amitabh Bachchan.
Amitabh
Amitabh
Bachchan,
Bachchan.
Rajesh Khanna.
Rekha Star. That is a Namak. It starts with Namak. It is not Namak Halal. It is a Namak something like that.
Namak Haram. Namak Haram.
Namak Haram. Yes. Namak Haram. Namak Halal was Amitabh Bachchan star. Amitabh Bachchan, Shashi Kapoor. So this one, actually, thank you, Gomar. That is a Diye Jalte Hai, Badi Mushkil Se Magar. And then again, there's an old Mukesh song. Some of you may remember. Again, that is Dost Dost Na Raha. Have you heard that song?
That's from Sangam. Raj
Sangam.
Kapoor.
Okay.
Raj Kapoor.
Yeah, Gomar, why don't you sing that one? Because Gomar is a good singer.
दोस्त दोस्त ना रहा, प्यार प्यार ना रहा, जिंदगी हमें एतबार ना रहा, एतबार ना रहा. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that is what it is. That is about that talk. Dangerous friends. I recognized some people who are very dangerous after few years only. It took many years for me to know. They were the wolf in sheep's clothing. കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടോ ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയും മറ്റേ ആട്ടുംതോലട്ട ചെന്നായി. But by then, a lot of damage. So these days, I'm very, very alert. I make sure that, okay, I don't get into that kind of a situation, fall into that kind of a situation. So today's session, did I promise, I fulfill my promise. This will be entertaining, enlightening, and empowering. Triple E, E. Did I? If I put then yes in the chat box. E. Thank you, Binduji. Oh, Chiranji. Sugar coated. And my dear friends, you are not going to remember everything because our memory, with the aging, even younger days also, unless the school examination, before the examination, the children, if they don't read the notes, they won't be able to remember. One time listening in the classroom, no. Repetition. So watch this video again a couple of times, and this will be the best gift you can give to your children or grandchildren. Best gift. During my school days, college days, and MBA days, I rarely used to smile. Dr. Shaji will validate. But Shaji always knew that trick. Shaji was a very good, with always smiling. Okay? Shaji walks around with a smiling expression. Whereas I rarely used to smile. But these days, I find it difficult to walk with a serious face. These days, I smile a lot wherever I go. And one more interesting brief story. In 2004, I think, I was in Iowa State. My son likes Chinese food. So we went to a small restaurant, Chinese restaurant. There's a seating capacity of some 30 or 32 people. Small one. And I went and placed the order. A Chinese girl who is bilingual, she can speak English and Chinese. She took the order. And I could see the chef behind, two chefs were standing behind and preparing food. When I placed the order for spicy shrimp, that is the prawns, and she said, and so the chef got the order, and she asked us to wait sit in the dining area. We waited. 5 minutes later, she brought the shrimp, 2 bowls. There are 6 ounces of noodles and 6 pieces of shrimp. Very tasty. We liked it very much. $5, cost $5. That's not much. And we wanted to just show our appreciation to that chef. So we went to that girl that we want to tell that chef we liked it. Who is that chef? There are 2 guys who is working on that one. And then we called some name and something like that. And that guy turned and looked at us. We cannot speak Chinese. So we showed this finger, this gesture. My son also showed the same gesture. And his face brightened as a 100-watt bulb. Because he rarely finds somebody complimenting him. So he was so happy. Then what happened? 1 month later, when we went and we ordered, after that, nearly 2 years or 3 years, we must have gone to that very same restaurant some 8 or 10 times. We ordered for the same food, that spicy shrimp noodles. And we waited. And when we got that noodles, that bowl, there are not 6 ounces, 8 ounces of noodles and 8 pieces of shrimp. So 2 ounces noodles more and 2 pieces of shrimp more. Every time that happened, because when we placed the order, that guy would immediately turn around and look, okay, the very same customers. So he was actually very, very excited, and he was so compliment, body language, return 20% more without spending even a single penny more. You are able to get more food, free food. So that is the power of body language. See you next week. And don't go away. I'm going to stop the recording, but we'll continue with the discussion, more stories.